Okay, we successfully installed the drivers, and now at this point you would hook up your box to the USB port on the computer, plug it in, turn it on, and so on. So let's assume that you can actually plug in your box, and you can go to the back panel and plug in the USB cable. At this point we will make sure the box is plugged in. I'm going to power it up with the front panel power button, and then I'm going to plug the USB cable into one of the USB ports. One of the features of Windows is that the USB port that you choose is where the drivers will be installed, so it's important to always plug the box into the same USB port. You'll see now that we're getting a window dialog box that says installing the device driver software. Click here for details and status. We're going to do that, and it says here that our device is ready to use, serial converter, USB serial port, and so on. You may get a dialog box that says it's searching Windows Update or searching Windows. You should have it skip that because it's actually installed on your computer. There's no reason to go to Windows Update. So now that we have it ready to use, we're going to close this. Again, the box is hooked up to the computer. We're going to now open the software. You can see that when we installed the software, it put a shortcut on your desktop. In order to check to make sure everything is working properly, we're going to open the software. We're going to double click on the Microlab software shortcut icon. It says it's reading from flash memory. The blue bar coming across here loading, this is a good sign. It means that your box is actually communicating with the computer, and everything at this point is ready to go. So here we have the introductory screen. The introductory screen has a variety of ready-to-run software applications and also has a general purpose Microlab experiment application. So you can experiment with these, kind of play around and see what the different features are for running the time and temperature, gas laws, and so on. We're going to open a general purpose Microlab experiment. Let's call it Try 1. I've just typed that into the box here, the experiment name, Try 1. We'll say OK. And now I want to take you through the various windows real quickly, and then we'll make sure that everything is working properly. So here we have, actually, the upper left window is the data sources, the variables, the sensors. This is where you would add a sensor. This is where you would create a formula for converting a sensor value into some new value. These formulas can then be put, I'll show you later, into the spreadsheet. You can also remove sensors. You can edit the sensors by changing the calibration and so on. We also have the start, stop, save, repeat, soft switches that we can program in more advanced applications. The main thing here though is that this is where you put in your sensors. Next to that on the right, in the upper right, we have the graph window. This is a real-time graphical window. You can put your sensors into the window. You can put time, you can put keyboard entries in here and graph the sensor output as a function of some other data source. On the lower left-hand corner, we have the experiment steps. The default experiment is a very simple one. Repeat every half second, read the sensors, and then keep doing that until the stop button is pressed. So in a sense, what we're doing then with this default experiment is creating kind of a strip chart recorder, an ongoing event that's based on time. We also have in the lower middle part of the screen an active spreadsheet. We can again place our sensors into the various columns and get real-time updates of the sensor value. We also have in the lower right a digital display for a real-time display of the sensor value. So here we are. We've got the software running. We've got the box being recognized. We're ready now to just add a sensor. And for the purposes of our experiment, the sensor that I'm going to add is a pressure sensor. So I'm going to go over here and click in the upper left-hand box, Add Sensor. We have a drop-down menu, along with a cartoon of the front panel of the Microlab interface, and I'm going to choose the pressure sensor. Notice the label is pressure. We also need to click the input. So the pressure indicator is right here, but to really tell the software that we've got the pressure sensor hooked up there, we're going to click on it. Notice it changes color when you do that, and we get a new thing that says next to calibrate. So we're going to click on the next button, and we get a calibration dialog box. In this case, we're going to use the factory calibrated pressure sensor values, and we're going to have our pressure values in torr. The sensor units show up in this box up in the upper right hand corner, and we're ready to go. So we're going to finish. Now we have pressure. So just to demonstrate that everything is working, I'm going to click on the pressure. I'm going to click it and drag it over to the digital display, and here we are. We now have the pressure showing up in an active window, 743.5 torr. That is the actual atmospheric pressure today in Wisconsin on the 3rd floor of the Science Hall. So there you have it. We're ready to go. Future videos will be showing you how to conduct experiments based upon time, keyboard entry, temperature, pH, and so on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.